Yeah, Jalen Williams is a once-in-a-lifetime player. Everything he brings to this team, we don't win this championship.
The playoffs is where stars are born. He's stepping into that light. Like, we've all seen it over and over. Like, the playoffs is really shows your true colors, right? It gives you that ledge. It gives you that confidence going into the next season.
Well before becoming a first-time All-Star, as well as becoming a first-time NBA champion, this was a player who was highly slept on and flew under the radar tremendously coming out of high school. In fact, it took an extreme amount of grinding and sacrificing just to get the recognition that he truly deserved, as he was nowhere near a one-and-done coming out of high school, nor did he have the big following or the crazy NIL deals. He was just willing at every step of the way to put in the necessary work behind closed doors to be great. This is the Jalen Williams story. Jalen Williams was born on April 14, 2001 in Denver, Colorado, but would later move to the Phoenix area when he was just 7 years old. Now his parents, Ronald and Nicole Williams, are both U.S. Air Force veterans who met while playing basketball at the academy, and they even served 24 and 12 years. So for Jalen, he would come up in a pretty strict household, as his parents were extremely big on implementing discipline and values into him and his little brother Cody, as well as his older sister Jasmine. Now, one thing him and his siblings had to do every single morning was make up their bed. But on one specific day, when Jalen was in high school, he forgot to do just that, which ultimately led to his mother coming all the way to the school, where she took him out of class just to take him all the way home for him to make up his bed, just to take him back to school. Now, one thing about his parents is that they were always 10 toes down on truly believing in him and supported his vision on wanting to go to the NBA at every step of the way. He even stated, "I would say my parents were big on if I wanted to get to the NBA, I could. From when I was young, I knew what I wanted to do, so I always had a good support system in regard to that. There was never a time that I didn't think I could." But coming into high school, Williams stood at 5'10" and was skinny with extremely long arms and large feet. So as he was continuing to develop into his frame, he was pretty slow and wasn't the most coordinated.
Because I had a growth spurt, so I was 5'10", 6'11" wingspan. Yeah. And that's tracked. Anybody can go search that.
So you grew into your arms, essentially.
Yeah, and then my arms grew a little bit more. But I don't know. Now it's not as awkward. Like before, obviously. It was so awkward. Like everything upper body was slow.
And from his freshman year of high school all the way to his freshman year of college, he would go from 5'10" all the way to 6'4". Now, Jalen's game really didn't start turning heads until about his junior season in high school, as he attended Perry High School in Gilbert, Arizona. At this point in time, he stood at 6'3", and he was a versatile shooter who could knock down shots off the dribble and was pretty athletic, while being immaculate in transition, and was also a pretty solid secondary ball handler. Defensively, he excelled when getting into passing lanes, and really used his 7'2" wingspan to block shots. And because of that, he would finish his junior season being named the Chandler Unified District Player of the Year, as well as being named to the 2017-2018 Offensive Regional Player of the Year. But coming into his senior campaign, he simply had his way, as he averaged just over 25 points a contest, and everything in his game seemed a little bit more polished. But still, somehow he was only listed as a 3-star recruit, according to Rivals, as well as 24/7 Sports. His only offers were schools like Santa Clara, University of Nevada, and Hofstra University. But he made the ultimate decision to sign a letter of intent to play college basketball at Santa Clara. Now, in his freshman season, on November 5th, 2019, Williams would make his debut and recorded 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists to go along with 2 steals against UC Santa Cruz. Jalen would play in all 33 games that season, and because of his improvement throughout the season, it allowed him to start the last 23 games while leading the team in steals with 44, which ranked 3rd on the school's all-time freshman list. Now, he would go on to finish his freshman season averaging 8 points in 26 minutes per contest. Now, coming into the 2020-21 season, he started in all 18 appearances and was 2nd on the team in scoring and free throw percentage. He would end his sophomore season upping his average to 12 points. This would even be the season where he recorded his first career double-double in the opening round of the 2021 WCC tournament with 13 points and a career high in rebounds with 10 against Pepperdine, but in a loss. Coming into his junior season, he had NBA scouts on notice, as he did not disappoint. It was pretty clear, as he was as complete as it gets. Williams would finish second in the WCC with 18 points per contest, including scoring 16 or more points in 21 games. And while standing at 6'5" at this time, and with his long arms, he was a straight menace on both sides of the basketball. Against Hawaii, he would have a career night, scoring 30 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Now, he would reach 1,000 career points after averaging 13 points on 47% shooting for his career. At this point in time, he was projected a first-round NBA draft pick. So on March 31st, 2022, he would enter his name in the 2022 NBA draft.
With the 12th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Jalen Williams from Santa Clara University.
An emotional moment for Jalen Williams and his family, the junior guard out of Santa Clara. He has wanted to be a professional ball player since he was 6 years old.
He would be the first prospect drafted from Santa Clara since Steve Nash was drafted 15th overall in the 1996 NBA draft. On October 19, 2022, Williams would make his official NBA debut. There, he would put up 5 points in 6 minutes before taking a hit while defending a dunk attempt on Jaden McDaniels. He would leave the game and later underwent surgery to address his right orbital bone fracture.
Yeah, like my eye was red till like January. So it was just like stuff like that. Like I couldn't really blow my nose until March. So yeah, like I had a lot of stuff with my eye going on.
Now, as the season progressed, he would really start to catch his stride, especially once he was placed in the starting lineup once Jeremiah Robinson Earl was sidelined due to injury. He would even go on to be named Rookie of the Month for back-to-back months after averaging 11 points on 52.4% shooting, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists per contest. That all allowed him to become the 3rd rookie to win Rookie of the Month honors after Russell Westbrook and Josh Giddey. In his second season, he would up his averages from 14 points to 19 points, 3 assists, and 5 rebounds, and was a tremendous help in leading the Thunder to a 57-25 overall record, as well as their first Western Conference first seed since 2013. In his first playoff appearance, he recorded 19 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in Game 1 versus the Pelicans. Now, Jalen and his crew would experience losing in the conference semifinals in 6 games to the Dallas Mavericks. But coming into year 3, he took that next step, becoming a first-time NBA All-Star and was even named to the All-NBA third team, making his first career All-NBA selection, but also was named to the NBA All-Defensive second team for the first time in his career. Now, coming into the playoffs as the Thunder were the #1 seed, he would have his highs and lows. In the Western Conference semifinals, there was a point to where he was shooting just 34% from the field, which had many doubting his ability to be a reliable second option. But as the playoffs continued, he would only go on to show why he is one of the better second options in all of basketball. He would go on to experience scoring a playoff career high in 40 points in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, as well as 20 points in Game 7, which was a tremendous help in him becoming a first-time NBA champion. Jalen Williams is most definitely on track to becoming one of the most versatile wings that we've seen at a very long time. And as he continues to emerge at the rate that he's going at, we can very well be looking at a future Hall of Famer as well as the start of a dynasty.
Coming from not being known in college to 4 years later being an NBA champion and having like an impact on a championship team is God's gift for sure. So it's been really cool to get that. So that was like a rush of emotion. And then I looked up, I messed up and looked up, and my mom was crying in the stands, and then that made me start tearing up a little bit. So that too kind of was some of the rush of the emotion.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jalen Williams story.